It's weird when you...
Yeah, there's a delay.
Right. Good evening. Welcome to the Board of Selectmen's meeting on Monday, January 12th, 2026. We'll call the meeting to order at 6 o'clock. Could I get a roll call, please, Audrey?
Yes. Select Chair, Mr. Coy.
Here.
Select Vice Chair, Mr. DeRoche.
Here.
Selectman, Mr. Gifford.
Here.
Selectwoman, Ms. Costa.
Here.
Selectman, Mr. Sherman.
Here.
Thank you. And if we could all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. It doesn't look like we have anyone here for public comment. So I guess we'll get right into the agenda. The first up, it's trash and recycling contractors. The first one will be waste management. If you guys want to come on up. Thank you for coming in. We appreciate it.
We appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Yeah. Luckily, hopefully, we're giving ourselves enough time this time around. Last time, I know it was pretty tight, last contract. But
Much better than last time. Before we start, and again, I'm Pete LaChapelle. This is Ed Pasek. I did send the town manager an updated spreadsheet. We found some. It was a great job. All the information was there, but some missing key pieces.
Okay.
You know, like the disposal, tipping fee, and the processing costs.
Yeah.
So wanted to make sure you did see that. So
Yeah, we got that a little while ago.
okay.
So just want to kind of recap a little bit for us and,
Sure.
let us know. Quick presentation.
Sure. So first of all, again, thank you for the opportunity to be here, and we're pleased to have presented our proposal to the town of Plastow and the opportunity to serve the town once again. So I think, as you probably are aware, we were here in the past servicing the town, and so Waste Management is the largest provider for solid waste recycling in the nation, and we have a strong presence here in New Hampshire. And we also have a number of sites that I think would benefit the town as far as our infrastructure is concerned. So I think we're uniquely positioned to be able to provide the town service, direct service for disposal, direct service for recycling processing. When I say direct, what I mean is that we don't have the need to transfer the material to a transfer station. That saves the town the double handling. So I think we're uniquely positioned to be able to give the best offer to the town, cutting out unnecessary infrastructure. So we feel that, especially after looking at the bid results, confident that, we knew coming into this that we would have a competitive offering, and I think our results speak for themselves. So not sure what kind of questions that the board might have for us. We do feel that we were very comprehensive in our proposal. So really, I think we were here to kind of see what other questions you might have for us tonight.
Want me to go? So one of the things that, has always been part of our contract is bulk pickup. And we know that's changes over time. Mattresses are no longer taken. I don't know do you guys take mattresses anymore?
We do.
You do, as a bulk pickup item?
Yep.
Correct.
Okay. And, one of the things you would put in here, that your bulk pickup would be more of a per resident service. So they would have to call, schedule it, and it would be once a month, right? What do you take for bulk items, and what don't you take for bulk items, and what would be included as far as your white goods?
Sure. So, it's kind of a broad question. It's more like maybe what we don't take for bulk items. So typically when we're working with an automated program, we would say any items that are too large to fit in the cart, that are not hazardous or waste bin or kind of restricted items. So I would say from a dimension standpoint, your normal furniture items would be accepted. So a sofa, for example, would be something that would be accepted. A mattress is something that we could accept. From a weight standpoint, a piano might be a little bit too much. Like we wouldn't take a piano. Typical household items that are too large to fit in the cart, and then furniture items, that would be the bulk program. As far as the white good program is concerned, we're talking about electronic and white good items, appliances, household appliances, those types of things. So that's what's covered in our program. I think what would be worth mentioning, though, is that kind of maybe explaining a little bit on how our bulk proposal works. So as you pointed out, it would be a resident-based fee, and residents would contact Waste Management through a call center or online. So both options are available. The online option's nice. It's 24/7. You don't have to worry about calling or waiting or anything like that. Now, the nice thing is so I think from the town standpoint is that from a budget standpoint, it's very easy for the town to budget for this program because it's zero. The other nice thing about it is people pay for what they need, and you're not asking residents who may never need a bulk item collected to subsidize everybody else. So there's that element to it. But I think the real nice piece about it is that you're not really kind of extending the friends and family plan, if you will, to import bulk items from other communities. And so what we see is that as more and more communities institute a fee-based bulk program, the communities that don't have a fee-based bulk program end up seeing their friends and relatives dropping them off in front of the residents of Plastow. And so what we've seen across the board is when there's a fee-based program instituted, it's usually 70 or more % reduction in the amount of bulk items. And so here's where that benefits the town, is that when you switch to that program, first of all, whatever collection cost you would otherwise be incurring to pick up all those items, that's reduced. But then in addition to that, you're seeing a reduction in your disposal costs. So that's items that you're disposing of. So the town ultimately is offered a lower rate, I think it's a more attractive rate, and the residents are only paying for what they need. So and it's also obviously at the convenience of them having it at their house. It's not a drop-off option. It's right at the curb.
And for a bulk item pickup, so you have, how many items could they put out there in that bulk item that got picked up?
So we usually don't put a limit because it's the residents paying for it. So the cap is usually set by how much they want to pay. So what happens is that typically we'll see anywhere from like 1 to 3 is a common amount. If the town wants to place a limit on that, we can. But typically we don't see a need to do that when it's fee-based.
Yeah, because I just wonder if someone rips up, say, a whole room of carpeting, that would just be considered one pickup fee?
No. So what would happen is, like for carpet, and again, we'd work with the town on this. We could set a reasonable limit. We would suggest something like maybe 3 to 4 rolls of carpeting, and that would be. We try to find something that would be roughly equivalent to like a furniture item. Mm-hmm. So if somebody, say, recarpeted their entire house, and they would, it reaches a point where is the curbside bulk item collection, is that the right mechanism for, say, like a whole house remodel? Probably not, but the intention of the curbside program is for, smaller projects and certainly.
Yeah, I'm just trying to anticipate questions that would be coming up.
Those are good questions. We've seen them all. So like we certainly can help the town and the board work through any of those questions. We have a lot of experience with it, but you're right on track.
Yeah, and with furniture, I know one question would be, would a sofa and a love seat be considered one pickup? Because that's typically what most people would have.
Yeah, so what we'll say, again, like we'll work with the town on what you feel is a reasonable parameter. So for example, like we'll say a common one is table and 4 chairs. That's one item. But depending on how the town wants to look at it from the point of view of, well, hey, there's a disposal on this, or what do we want to offer residents? Sometimes the town might be partial to calling it 5 items, but typically that's 1. So we don't have a strong preference as to how that would work out. We would work with you on that. For us, the main thing is that the resident's the one who's sort of in charge of, I want to pick up, okay, here's the process, and essentially you're kind of out of the loop on that. But we can work together on what the program guidelines are.
Yeah, just trying to figure, is it a set fee, or if they say, okay, sofa loves each year, there's a different cost than just the sofa?
We just want to keep it as simple as possible.
It's consistent.
So, yeah, we just one fee per item, and so then what we'll say, I guess it's more like it's 1 fee per item. So, but if we want to classify a table and chairs as 1 item, that set equals 1 item, we can do that.
Just to kind of elaborate on that too, an example of having a user-based fee. I worked with a town of East Kingston, and they implemented basically a tag system to put on curbside bulk pickup.
Mm-hmm.
Before they did that, they had 2 curbside events a year, and they were averaging about 82 tons a year. And 850 stops, units, homes. They implemented basically a tag system, and it went down to 15 tons annually. So they had a significant amount of leakage, what I call leakage, from other communities coming in. And I can guarantee you do as well. And you're going to see your tonnage go down by implementing this. And it's a user-based program. It's like your electricity bill, right? You pay for what you use.
Understanding that the citizens are going to be paying for this and it's not direct through the town. And I'm going to be asking Casella as well, because they actually have a transfer station and people can bring it to them at their discrepancy. But just like, what does a refrigerator cost to dispose of? What does a set of furniture cost?
Well, for us, we have that.
Citizen.
Yeah, and it's
a set rate.
It's a set rate. I think it's
That's what I'm looking for,
Yeah.
set rate.
it's a set rate per item.
It's $50. Per
Yeah.
item.
Per item.
So just to be clear, there's the 2 categories. So there's the bulky item category, so that's 38 per item,
Okay.
and the white good category, which is your refrigerators,
Right.
appliances, that's 50.
Right, and yes, we do not really have an option for the transfer station, and some residents may take advantage of this. But I know if I was living here in town, and I'm not going to drive about 20 to 30 minutes up there and pay $75 to get rid of a mattress when I can get rid of it here for 38.
You don't have to get in the car, it's just right at the curb.
Just want to have the numbers so that
Yeah,
the citizens,
people might ask.
they're going to ask.
You should probably touch on their questions here.
So, so we were also briefed ahead of time with some questions so we could kind of run through those.
Yeah, perfect.
And then stop us if you have questions along the way. So one of the questions that came to us was, does our disposal pricing include I guess it's just been implemented now, the $3.50 disposal surcharge? So that's something effective January 1st, state of New Hampshire put that in effect. Our rates do not reflect that. So that's just our rate. That's our rate to the town. You would see the $3.50 surcharge added on top of that, and then the town can
Gets
get
reimbursed
reimbursed
quarterly.
from the state on that. So we kind of look at that as that's between you and the state, but it would appear on our invoice, and then you would have the ability to recover that money.
Kind of administrative headache for someone here and every municipality.
Indeed. So that's that question. Then the next question was, what was the frequency for the cardboard containers at the highway garage, and could this be adjusted as needed? So our proposal includes once a week service for those 5 containers, and the answer is yes. The frequency can be adjusted up or down. It would be the price would adjust accordingly. But if you don't need that much service, you want to go every other week, for example, we'll reduce the price accordingly. So that's how we would handle that. And then the next question is related to dumpsters as well, is do the dumpster rates include the tip fees? And the answer is yes, they do. So that's something that we feel is nice for the town because you see the rate for what it is. It's a flat rate. It's inclusive. And if today our understanding is that the dumpsters are not included in, or I should say the tip fee is not included in your dumpster pricing. It's included in your disposal pricing. So you would actually see a reduction in your disposal bill versus what you see today. Because that we estimate about 409 tons per year. That's of course we don't know that for certain, but we kind of do know the industry and know that that's on a pounds per yard basis. Likely what you'd see is by way of reduction. So probably in the neighborhood of about 400 tons per year that comes off your disposal bill. It's built into that dumpster pricing, and it's really the same thing for the cardboard dumpsters as well. Those would be there's no tip fee associated. There's no additional tip fee associated that's built into the dumpster pricing that's been already proposed. And then there was a question about roll-offs being included. 2 roll-offs are included in the base price. So if you have events or anything like that that you need, we have included that into the base price of our proposal. So that's in there. And then as far as the next one, do we have an option for bi-weekly or once a month bulk collection? So our proposal, as we just discussed, deals with the per item collection. We would offer, our plan is to offer once a month service. So people would call in or they would go online and we would schedule everything for that day that we pick up Plastow bulk. And if it flows into the next day, we would do that. So it'd be a 1 to 2 day collection block that we would anticipate once a month. If it was really important to the town, we could do a bi-weekly. We could just schedule for the next, basically set up 2 days on a bi-weekly basis. But that would increase our costs and that would increase the cost per item. So we said it's $38 per item for the monthly program. We calculate that to be at $45 per item if you want to do bi-weekly. So we feel that 38 is probably in the month, once a month is sufficient for the town. That's kind of how we would typically handle a town of this size. But there is that option available to you if you'd like it. And then we talked about the mattress. That would be included in the bulk collection. And the nice thing about that is, again, it's at the curb. You don't have to try to figure out how you're going to get a king-size mattress, to the transfer station. And lastly, will the town receive a monthly report on residents' complaints? And yes, we do provide that. So that's something that we do standard. So
the residents with complaints would contact you directly instead of town hall and then the town hall calls?
nothing's stopping them from calling the town hall.
No, but I'm just saying.
Yes,
you'll
yes, right. But we you feel free to direct all your calls to us. That's what we planned on. That's in our proposal. That's built in there. And anybody who does call us, whether it's to say, you missed my trash or spilled trash or whatever, we can provide that by way of a report to you every month.
And in the proposal, the recycling, it's weekly or bi-weekly?
Well, we gave two prices.
Two options, yeah.
So I don't know if you have a sheet in front of you, but what you'll see is that near the top, we had on the top block there, bi-weekly recycling collection. It's the 1, 2, 3, fourth line down. That shows your bi-weekly pricing. And then if you go into the alt ads section below that, the first row shows the weekly collection pricing.
Yeah,
So-
because we're bi-weekly now, which is probably fine.
Yeah, we don't see any issue with that.
And if you can just speak a little bit about the cart repairs and the replacement, just so everyone kind of understands it.
Absolutely. So when it comes to cart repair, first of all, so our understanding is the town owns the carts. And I think my understanding is the town also provides all of the cart repair services today. So what our proposal to the town is that, it makes sense to us to, if you already have, say, an inventory of carts and part replacement parts on site, it makes sense to us to leave them on site, not move them somewhere else. We would come to town on a kind of, I think, weekly basis. did we
had
say?
it, yeah.
And we would perform any repairs or swaps using the town's inventory of carts and parts. And I think the nice thing about that is not only are we able to do that, provide that labor for the town, but also it's the scheduling of it. So again, we have the online option as well as the call center. So if residents need to report that their cart needs to be repaired, they could go online and they can indicate that this is what needs to happen. We get that and we're out there on the next scheduled day.
Now, the cart repair, like, would you just automatically come every week, or would it just be like an as-needed basis?
It's as needed, so that's why I mentioned that piece of it. So like we won't necessarily know if it needs to be done, if the resident notices that the wheel broke or something like that. They would report it to us, then that would prompt the repair.
And if the town wants to continue maintaining and repairing on their own, our base price would decrease by
$19,000.
$19,495.
I have a question, Bill.
Yeah, go right ahead.
With you, you'll need to get a new truck.
Two.
Two trucks, one for trash, one for recycling.
Yeah.
Okay. So is that built into the cost, or is that an additional cost to the town?
So we will, like we indicated, we will purchase 2 new trucks for the service of Plastow, and that is completely built in here.
Okay.
No other cost.
What's not built in here is the fact that there's a long lead time for us to get trucks. So you may have experienced that in the town when it comes to
Like a
buying.
fire truck or something.
So it was mentioned earlier on, do we have enough time? The timing's good right now, but we're getting down to the wire. So what we had said was in our proposal that if the town could enter into a contract with us within 90 days of our bid submittal, we would ensure that there would be no additional cost for renting that equipment. And what that would allow us to do is it would give us approximately 10 months of lead time. We can't guarantee that we're going to have the new trucks in 10 months, but what we can do is say, look, you know what, the town, if you give us that much time, we feel like you're making a good faith effort and doing the right thing as far as getting way ahead of this. We'll absorb whatever remaining cost there is on the trucks if they're not in by then. So again, I think that's probably the best way to explain it.
Okay, so you'll need 2 trucks, not 1.
That's correct. One for
Okay.
each commodity type.
And we also are proposing a 4-day per week pickup schedule.
Okay.
Which actually I like because that means no Saturdays.
Yeah, if we go Monday
When
through-
you have those Monday holidays, which
Yeah.
to me, that makes a difference.
Yeah, exactly.
And it says here you have the extra bag for $1.50. That's like really big in our house sometimes, so.
Oh, I can see it during holidays and if you got little ones.
Right ahead.
Where does your trash and recycling go?
Our trash goes to our tree facility, which is in Rochester, New Hampshire.
Okay.
And so that stays in state. And the recycling goes to our Billerica MRF, which I indicated before. We don't have the need for transfer stations, so you're getting that kind of direct pricing. So the material would be sorted and processed right there in Billerica.
And does the trash, is it incinerated or is it going to a landfill?
It's landfill.
Landfill. But we do capture the methane in that. You may have heard of this because it got a lot of press back in 2007, 8. We capture the methane and we pipe it down the UNH. And it generates approximately 70 to 80% of their electricity needs on campus. So even your trash is going to be recycled.
So the recycling needs to be clean when we put it in?
Like you're doing
rinse it
today.
out and,
Well, yeah,
Reasonably clean, yeah. So what we don't want is non-recyclables in the recycling bin. That's really what we don't want. That's the big thing.
and the other thing I wanted to.
no bags.
No bags.
No bags, no
bags.
Christmas lights, yeah.
No tanglers, as we
yeah.
call them. And the other thing is, I know when Dee did a fantastic job putting this together, she did retire by now, right?
Yes.
Good for her.
Bad for us.
Bad for you. But she had on our recycling processing, and if you have it, you'll see the totals. It was just 113.18 per ton. That's not our cost. That's our processing fee. They have, it's similar to ours. They call it the ACR. We call it blended value. Average commodity value, we call it the blended value. So you take the blended value minus our processing. So when this came out, for example, back when I got this pricing, I think it was due November 3rd, and this was October pricing. So at the time, I think it was like $30 and change, the value for the recycling. So net fee to the town is less than what you're throwing away. It would have been 83 and change. So.
No, Craig, do you have any questions? I know you've been through this too. Scouring through all these. Let's see if we got anything remaining. John?
Good.
Jay, Liz, Tyler?
No, I think they hit most of my questions that they had pre-meeting.
Covered everything I had, so.
Yeah, no, that was good.
How would they get the stickers? Would they get them from town hall? Is that something
Well-
they set up with you guys?
We don't, so Pete used that as an example to say, like, in that scenario, when you had a type of fee-based program, how much the volume came down. But we don't actually even need to do a sticker here. So it's like one step you don't need to get involved with. All we need is the resident to contact us, let us know what they have at the curb,
And reschedule.
and it's done.
So they won't have to come into town hall like now and get a sticker. They would just
Correct.
alert you that there's going to be an
Correct.
extra bag sitting out front.
Well, it'd be like, there's going to be a sofa sitting out front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think
So, yeah.
Tyler
I
was
was talking about the
asking.
Oh, we're
extra bag
talking
sticker
about-
program.
We have
Sometimes we'll have,
extra
like-
bags of trash.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, the extra bag
So-
sticker program. That's what I was.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. So in that case, well, so this is the way we handle that. I'm sorry, I
That's okay.
misinterpreted. If you have an extra bag sticker program, instead of actually like a extra bag, what we would do is ask you, how many stickers did you sell? And so we don't, like, you could imagine our guy's out there trying to get all the stuff off the street. He doesn't, it's not practical for him to say, okay, and I got, how many stickers.
Got a race board and he's keeping tabs.
Exactly.
Yeah, because usually someone could come into town hall and buy 10.
Yeah,
They're not going to use them all that week.
understood.
But that sticker has to be on that bag for it to be picked up.
Right.
No sticker on the bag,
It
doesn't get
go.
picked up.
And so we understand that it's not going to be like, okay, somebody comes in that month, they're definitely going to use that sticker. But our sense is that, you know what, at some point they will. And so in other programs where towns will work with a bag manufacturer, and sometimes there'll be like a blue bag or a purple bag or something, we'll get the receipts that they have from that bag manufacturer, and we will just say, okay, you sold 200 bags in town this month. It's going to be, $300 for that program. And so we understand that in those situations, not that many bags necessarily hit the street that month, but eventually they will. And kind of like even today, people might have some stickers sitting in their drawer from whenever they bought them before. Well, we don't know how many are out there in people's homes. We're not going to even try to figure that out. We're just going to take it for going forward. So it kind of evens out in the long run.
Do they expire? They don't expire, do they? The stickers?
There's no expiration on those, right?
The reason why we do it, in case anybody's wondering, is, we have an automated program. That's what we're proposing. And obviously the town's made the investment as far as the carts are concerned. And, the thing for us is that, we have to get the automated trucks. So there's all this infrastructure that's been invested in this program, and it's worthwhile. I mean, it's definitely a good thing to do. But if we find ourselves getting out of the truck like all the time, it begins to degrade those efficiencies that we've counted on. So it's a way to kind of offset it a little bit. So that's the purpose behind that.
So you just need like a monthly report of
Yeah,
how many stickers we sold.
Sorry, Ed, does the town charge people right now currently to have an extra bag outside?
Yeah, they-
Okay, so,
Yeah.
okay, good.
So say, going back to the cart repair real quick, say we get through our inventory and we don't have any more inventory in this. So what happens at that point?
so, I mean, the way we're looking at this, at least the way we've proposed it, is we could take it in different directions, like full flexibility on this, but the way we proposed it was the mindset that the town owns the carts and you own your replacement carts. Doesn't really make sense for us to buy replacement carts for your fleet. We can do things like that, or if it's, but it's a little bit different than what we proposed. But just to answer your question, we would expect that the town, when the inventory runs low, that you do.
We'd replenish. Okay.
Because
Is there an option to, I'm sure it would cost, there's a cost to it, but would you be able to replace them at some point?
All of them, or sort of?
If we gave like a period of time where we think we might go through the rest of our inventory, say 2 or 3 years down the road, and we need to start replacing carts,
You mean like replacing your inventory, or like all the carts on
Probably
the
just the
street?
inventory.
replacing inventory.
Oh, yeah, sure. We can absolutely help you with that. So whether it's, if you need help with the ordering, or if you want us to order it for you, you're right, there's a cost for that, but we can absolutely do all that.
That's all I
All
have.
right. All right. Good, Greg. Thank you very much. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
And thank you for
gentlemen.
serving, because just a footnote, I sat in your chair for 20 years in the city of Rochester as a counselor, and I don't miss it.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next up, we'll have Casella, please.
We brought 3, so we're going to pull a chair over.
Yeah, go right
Take one of the
ahead.
comfy ones.
No,
You don't
just
have to
grab-
pick up the one.
You can grab one of those if you want.
Looking out for us.
Yeah, just slide. He's got one.
Give him the trip chair.
All right, how are you this evening?
Very good.
Good. How are you?
Thanks.
Doing well.
Guys having a good time talking about trash, figuring out how to make less people angry instead of more, right?
That's basically it,
Yeah, yeah.
in a nutshell.
That feels very familiar.
I'm sure you get it all the time.
I personally am on my Parks and Rec committee in Goffstown where I live. This is much more energetic than we ever are, and you have much nicer chairs too.
Just want to introduce yourselves quick, and then,
Sure. I'm Dan McInnes. I'm the market area manager here in Casella, and that's like a really fancy way of saying the general manager for the neighborhood.
Erin Banfield, Director of Municipal Services.
And I'm Tony Belanger. I'm a strategic account manager, and I would be your town manager when we start doing services.
perfect. Just want to give us a quick rundown.
Yeah, I'm not quite as polished as our compatriots. So Casella is an organization that is not the largest in the world. We are a very large hauler and a handler of waste in the New England area. I'm sure you've seen our cans. We're all over. And Plastow is right in the center of the territory that I manage. I cover New Hampshire and the northern part of Massachusetts. I was really excited to read about the RFP. And then I had heard from some of my coworkers about the last rounds and how it was relatively stressful for the town to go through that process. So I'm glad you guys gave everyone ample opportunity to go through it, to put something out there. And this is really something that, from a results perspective, is nice to see, because this is a medium-sized community. There's a lot of opportunity to make a lot of great relationships here, to make a new connection with this town here. I don't think Casella has ever serviced Plastow, but we certainly have a lot of your neighbors. We mentioned those in our referrals. So we're really excited to be here and speak with you guys tonight.
Maybe just a little bit of a pile on broader outside of Dan's market. We're the largest recycler in the Northeast. We've got, similar to WM, we've got a single stream facility that's down in Boston. We just finished a complete retrofit of that facility back at the end of 2023. We've got additional assets within this market that would be servicing the town and the residents within Plastow. As Dan mentioned, within the Southern Maine kind of network, Allenstown transfer, Raymond transfer, the operations from a collection standpoint would be coming out of our Salem, New Hampshire operations. And we'd be utilizing third-party disposal for the final, third-party sites for final disposal.
You know, to add on to that, I have some staff that live in Plastow that told me not to blow it tonight.
Hopefully they're watching.
Hopefully they're not watching.
I don't think we have a wide audience, but you never know.
You know, something about municipal stuff doesn't excite.
So we too received a heads up on some of the finer points that you wanted clarifications on from Greg. Thank you, Greg. So I'll run those down now so we can kind of keep a continuity going between the two
Perfect.
bidders here. So the first question was involving the state surcharge that they came up with effective January 1st. And even though it's a pass-through, you get a reimbursement from the state if you go through that quarterly process with them. It won't be necessary with us as we are contracted with Cavanta or Reworld, they call it now, in Haverhill. So since it's going out of state, you wouldn't be subject to the $3.50 charge. That's an in-state charge only. But if we ever did have to bring it in, we would certainly help you with the process of figuring out the new process, which is not that bad from what I've seen so far. So the second question was regarding the OCC containers or cardboard dumpsters over at the highway garage. And these, per the RFP, were requested for weekly service, and our response was weekly. If you choose that you want to change it up, by all means, it's a mathematical equation. Weekly divided by some factor brings you every other week, or another factor brings you to twice a week. We'll be more than happy to do that for you.
And I'd like to point out, you know, if you see an uptick into the end of December, early January, because everyone and their brother ordered from Amazon, we obviously would be happy to accommodate a spike here and there if necessary.
Okay.
Whatever you deem appropriate.
The third question was in regards to, do the dumpster rates include tipping fees? And yes, they're all inclusive. Those are not passed back to the town. It's a commercial route that we mix with other commercial customers. So those are direct flat rate fees to the town. Thirdly, if two roll-offs are included for additional cost, in the RFP, it was asked for 2 per year up to 4 events. And in our response, we noted that we will provide these to be in line with community services and becoming a part of the community at no charge.
Plus, we love to see our dumpsters when we go to your events. It's nice to see it in the background. Occasionally, there's a picture in there, too.
Do we have options for biweekly or one-time monthly bulk collection? We went with a weekly and a biweekly option, but we can do monthly as well. Whatever the town feels will meet the level of service that will keep the residents happy.
And how would you work the bulk pickup, much like the questions we asked earlier? Is it 1 item, 2 items, sofa and love seat considered one?
So we provided you with town cost work, which is per hour per ton.
Correct.
So there's no limit. There are some restrictions for like the piano. We could probably take a piano, but we may have to charge the resident a piano fee because it's not inside the normal structure, and we would provide the town with a comprehensive list similar to our transfer station list that we provided that shows, per item, what's allowed and any restrictions that may come with it, like the 4 rolls of carpet versus the 500 rolls of carpet. If you want to convert over to a user-based fee, we'd be glad to provide that as well, direct to the house. We did transfer station and we did curbside per hour per ton. So you could have as many events or as little events as you want. We'd prefer to see if your history shows that once a month is going to be a case where we drive around and find a lot of items because they waited a month to put them out.
Right.
Then maybe that's got some implications for, crowding sidewalks and stuff like that. We back it up to whatever you want. If you want to go to bi-weekly or even weekly, our rate covers you for any period of time frequency. And if you want a direct-to-consumer rate, we'd be glad to provide that too, just like the transfer station list, a per item fee and what's restricted and what's not restricted.
And how would the transfer station work for the resident?
So the transfer station, we do this with many communities in New Hampshire that don't have a transfer station of their own. The host community, Raymond, gets a more favorable price list because they're a host community. And then all the other ones, we give them a fair market rate. So a resident just would have to show that they are a resident of Plastow. And then they would already have the pricing model for that, like we sent to you. And every year that would get updated and published on your website and on our website. We have the third-party price lists on our website for both, Raymond has theirs, they're the host community, and then we have the third party. And you can actually see the differences for being a host community. But
So they would get charged by whatever the item is?
yes, yeah.
That's different because place down in down in South Yarmouth, I can use that place. What you would do, you'd pull in with your vehicle. They weigh it. You dump everything off, you come back, they reweigh it again, and you pay whatever the weight was.
Yeah, so we're a commercial facility, so scale time
Yep.
would be prohibitive there for our
Okay.
commercial customers. We have roll-off trucks going in there all day long dumping, so the per item works much better so that the residents aren't waiting in line behind trucks.
Plus, there's a confusion factor in there, right? They know I'm taking a $25 club seat or whatever
Right.
over to Raymond, and it's easy, right? As opposed to, I recently went to the transfer station in my town, and I had a mattress, and I said, "Oh, it's this much a pound." I don't know what my mattress weighs, right? And you come back around. So
Yeah.
I think it's just a quicker, easier process. That
Yeah, and down there, they got it down to a science. It's crazy.
Right? Yeah.
It really is because it's like the residential goes in one spot.
Oh,
So the residential's separate. So you just pull in, they'll weigh your vehicle, like I said, and on the way out, they weigh it again, and the difference you pay by the weight, which is pretty simple, but it works down there.
yeah.
Manchester's like that as well.
Yeah.
But they don't take commercial. They're
Yeah.
mostly-
So referencing the bulk pickups, because we might have the numbers, but John Q. Public just said their numbers. So could I get an idea of a bulk, say the mattress price for you to come and pick it up compared to the refrigerator price? The white goods.
Yeah, white goods and bulkies, as you heard, are two different categories
Right.
altogether. But you seem to be,
So there's two prices that I'm looking at.
yes,
And
you're looking
the-
for the two, yeah.
The two, but then again, the two at the transfer station.
Oh.
Yeah,
So
so
that-
so you mean if we picked it up on the curb, how much is the couch versus driving to the transfer
Right.
station? Yeah, I admittedly don't have that number in my hand. We will absolutely give it to you guys so you can get
Okay,
it.
it's just, they're the people that are going to be paying for this, so.
No, that's fair.
I want to be able to give them all the information.
It is significant because when you're doing bulk curbside pickup, you have the economies of scale on your side. So as you're picking up more frequently and more items, the price goes down versus going over to a separate place where we might get, one or two or three or 15 people and the price goes up. So it's definitely for the consumer, you'll see that it's going to be a better price direct to consumer than it is for them to actually drive and go to a transfer station.
Okay.
So, but
Well, in comparison, so I have the attachment here. So the mattress at the transfer station, $75. If it was a bulk item, is the resident paying for that directly, or is that coming out of this hourly
Depends on
cost versus
what we
time.
go
Depends
with.
on what the town elects. So if you tell us the town no longer wishes to bear the burden of the bulk and we want to put it back out, because Peter's not wrong, it goes down in the town when the resident has to pay for it, right? Then we would absolutely give you a price sheet. I don't have it.
No, it's fine.
But we would give you a price sheet for picking it up. And Tony is correct in the sense that if we're going down the street and we're going to get 100 of them, it does bring down the price because it's just nice and easy that way.
Okay. So the way this is presented, though, this is the town taking the cost for the bulk item portion, option for the transfer station for the resident.
Yeah, so the resident can come direct to our transfer station. Yeah.
And the dynamic of different types of bulk items, the advantage to curbside, regardless of who pays for it, is that they don't differentiate between more expensive items and less expensive items. We do have restrictions, as the piano example, but what you don't want to become is the mattress capital of the world, and we don't want to become the mattress capital of our transfer station, right? So the price dumbs down to the same for each item, but it's restricted to so many pounds per item, and maybe at some point you restrict to if it gets too overbearing to have anybody put as many items as they want out in one collection period, that we limit it to, okay, can we do 3 this week, and then the next period we'll do the other 3 that you have, just to keep the route so that you can control the hours that the drivers are driving,
Really, we're trying to be sensitive to the budgets you have and the budgets that the residents have at their home.
And the crowding of the streets.
Right.
Yeah, we have it limited to 1 bulk item per week right now.
Yeah.
Excellent.
It should be something we have to discuss and figure out however we want to handle bulk item.
Since we're on the mattresses, I did see there was a mattress recycling offering in here. Can you tell us more about that? And is that an additional cost? What does that look like?
So the price for drop off at the 75 would be any mattress brought to our Raymond transfer station would be recycled. We've got 2 recycling facilities to date, where there will be a 3rd coming online shortly. But those units today out of Raymond would be transferred down to our Willimantic mattress recycling facility. Very manual process. Those mattresses get opened up, all of the component parts get separated, and we recycle about 75 to 85% of that component of a mattress. So there's no additional cost there. If we ran a curbside route, we would isolate those mattresses as well. We'd divert them and pull them out of the waste stream, so they'd also go down for processing.
And we have a really cool video of this process that I just saw a couple months ago at this Willimantic, Connecticut facility that we have. And I'd be glad to share it with you so you can see actually how it works.
That'd be cool. What is the food waste collection that you guys noted in here? I saw that recycling program too for the food waste.
Kind of an open-ended offering. It's service that we provide across multiple states that we service. It's all about what the residents and the town would be interested in. Many towns are looking at drop-off stations, gauging interest, getting food waste out of the waste stream. Some communities have full-blown municipal collection programs where every household gets a small cart. Participation is kind of key there, right? Just as similar to what Tony described, really difficult to say everybody's getting a food waste cart and you pick up 25% of the town for those participating. So the economies of scale and pricing kind of drives that. But we could certainly chat with the town about possibly setting up a couple of drop-off locations, maybe one at Town Hall, et cetera, to start diverting materials.
Yeah, the fact of the matter is it's cheaper to dispose of food waste as food waste.
Well, we've had someone else that's come and talked to us about this, and we were venturing that idea last year of seeing how we could gauge some interest. So I saw it in here and wanted to bring it up.
Have you seen the new law that they've come out with for New Hampshire for diversion of food waste? Yeah.
I'm not
I
familiar.
haven't.
So there's a similar Massachusetts. They started off many years ago with a very basic, hey, anyone who generates a ton a week of material must divert the food waste. And this is what spurred the industry in Massachusetts. And now they're down to, I think it's 500 pounds a week, okay? Because the infrastructure's out there, the services are out there, the disposal sites are out there. And when you have many customers tagging on to a new type of service, it brings the cost down for everybody. New Hampshire's new one, and I'm a waste counsel for the state of New Hampshire, and I'm embarrassed to say I can't remember the exact language, but is I believe if you're within 20 miles of a disposal site, then you will be required to participate and divert if you produce X number of pounds per week, which I think they started off at 1,000. I can get that for you and send it to you, but I'm not sure how they wreck it from businesses to municipalities. A lot of times they start with commercial, let the commercial industry build up that, the
Infrastructure, yeah.
the hospitals, the restaurants and so forth. And then they bring it to the whole world as they get better at it. So it's definitely something worth, getting prepared for in the future. Maybe pilot programs as Aaron suggested. But certainly learning about what it's going to look like and what Massachusetts went through.
Do you have like a target participation that you look for in that type of program?
That's a good question. To kind of answer it a little
Probably based on
funky,
population too, right?
it is, but I would say better than the last, which isn't a good answer. We know kind of standard what we've seen across our business. Vermont has similar, more strict mandates up in Vermont about requirements for composting and food waste diversion. Some of the Massachusetts towns that we service, it's that ranging between 25 and 32% participation. So I think as you look at full-blown models, all of the kind of knowledge that you have goes into pricing. Mm-hmm. Subscription models work really well because obviously those that want to will pay for the service.
Right.
It's a little bit of a field of dreams too.
Mm-hmm.
If you build it, they will come.
Right. Yeah, that's it. We were looking at something where it was an area where people could drop off, and we would provide a bucket that they could put their food scraps in and then bring it over. But it was just it just didn't happen this year. So
You could trade a bucket of food scraps for a free sticker.
do you do any, as part of that, do you offer any like compost in return?
We could work through programs like that, yeah.
Do that at some of our college and university customers.
Yeah. Okay.
Anything else, Jay?
I guess I'm good there, but
Well,
I think I went through all mine.
Excellent.
Liz?
Just if there's additional trash, periodically for a household during the year, how would you, I know Waste Management had told us what they would do with that extra bags and stuff like that, but what would you, our community put out additional trash bags if needed, or is it just the container?
Yeah, so you have a tag program now, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, we would.
Yeah, we could
fully
You would
intend to
continue with that?
Continue your program as you intended it.
All right,
With the same exceptions of, Peter was saying, you got an automated truck for a reason, right? You're trying to stop that driver from getting in harm's way with late workman's comp but also efficiencies, right? How many stops per hour can you do, still get done before he runs out of hours? So it's a fine line. You really want to limit how many bags that people can use. They're rescue bags, right?
Yep.
So you really don't want people cleaning out their entire basement because they can buy the bags. You want to use it for the intended purpose. So, but yes, we do this in Drake It right now as an additional bag program, and you're welcome to look at their program to see how it works. But we have had zero issues.
I'm sorry, real quick, funny story. So, he's talking about Drake It, right? I was with the ops manager the other day out of Salem who covers Drake It, and he showed me a picture of a toilet wrapped in 2 bags from Drake It. The resident couldn't understand why we wouldn't take it, but that's not its intended use, and you know it. Come on.
But you want to know the funny part? The additional bag cost them $4. The bulky item is free.
Yeah.
They can put it out every Friday, 1 item per week for free. The town absorbs it in their cost. So I heard that from someone.
We should put that on the wall somewhere.
But yes,
Riot.
to answer your question, we would continue your same process if it's been successful for you.
Okay.
It has been a common theme out there. A lot of towns have gone to people can rent an additional barrel on a subscription basis, and the town gets the portion that covers the disposal cost. The carrier gets the part that covers their tipping cost and their administrative cost to take the people's money and deliver the cart and eventually remove the cart. Those are pretty popular. I've seen that over the last 10 years, they've become very helpful in having an ordinance, but yet still being able to provide because you're using the same truck that already has the volume discount, right? And that truck's out there picking up 1,000 stops a day. What's another couple of carts to go along with it? And if you want to make sure that no one thinks that one resident's getting more than the other resident, then the resident that has the identifiable extra cart, in my towns that I've done it in, they have yellow tops. So everybody knows the yellow top, the resident paid for that. Yeah. And furthermore, the revenue from that yellow top, the disposal portion goes back to the town, so that they can't say one resident's getting more than the other resident. Additional bags, very similar, right? You're dialing in on that need for some people that have 8 people or 10 people in their house, and they're not producing the same as someone that has 3 or 4. So.
Okay. And you have enough trucks?
Yes.
You have enough trucks to?
Yes. Brand new, pretty Casella trucks. Yeah, they will do you proud.
Okay. I see you on the highways. So.
Trash truck still.
Right. Back to the customer service, you guys handle that. I see you guys have an app and everything. Would you provide us with a monthly report of complaints?
Sure, if you'd like.
Yep.
Or you
The same thing. The resident would contact you directly?
Your preference.
Okay.
So we prefer it because it takes one leg out.
Right, it's quicker.
But it depends on the comfort level of the town and what they've experienced in the past.
Mhm.
If you're dealing with a town that's had a carrier that has not had transparency in that, and you get a lot of complaints from your residents, then you probably want to keep it yourself and pass it on to us. But if you're not experiencing that and everything's going pretty good, I would say probably whatever makes the resident happier. So if they like to call and talk to Bill, hey, Bill, the guy missed me, and you want to do that, then fine, you can pass it.
I'm the last guy that wants to go.
It's like a pass.
As shocked as you may be, there's a lot of municipalities that I deal with that still, the smaller ones, very small ones. They have 1 day a week service or whatnot, and they're very much in tune, and they like to still get the pulse of their residents. So
And how many days a week would you be looking at? 4 or 5?
4 days.
4 as well.
Monday through Thursday is what we're advocating for.
Yep. Then obviously Monday holidays, everything shifts a day.
Yes. Yeah.
And everybody's happy because
And we have 96-gallon barrels. That's not an issue. And I didn't ask you guys either. It's not an issue for you guys either. Okay.
they only do 95, I hear.
Did we get all the questions?
Greg?
He actually got the last one.
Looks like you're thinking there, Jay.
Just the cart repair replacement. If you want to talk a little bit about that, like how would you handle the cart repair, cart replacement piece of it?
So knowing what we just heard from your previous round, right? Very similar, right? We gave you a per hour cost to go out and do these, and they're usually replace lid, a cracked barrel every now and then, replace wheels, and we would take from your stock until you have a problem, and go out and do the repairs on whatever frequency is deemed necessary. Usually we like to do weekly with town this size to just make it so that it's not so.
It's overwhelming otherwise.
Yeah, we usually have a primary day, and a makeup day. So if things go crazy on the primary day and you get 80 crazy calls in one day, well, maybe we'll do 60 of them on Thursday and then do the other 20 on Friday. But we'll let the people know that. Put it out on Thursday, and by Friday it'll be done. As for inventory, if you wish us to take over managing your inventory, we do this. Drake, it's fresh in my mind because we just started it back in July. But they have us, as part of their program, they have the vendor manage their purchasing of their carts and distribution and repair. So we can do that for you. We can be transparent with it. You can even broker the deal. Hopefully we'll get a better deal than you because of our buying power. But if you're comfortable with your vendors now and you have a relationship, but you just want us to take over the nuts and bolts part of it, then we'll be glad to do that. And you can reimburse us for those costs. We typically like, if it's possible, to keep the inventory in town. So we don't have all these towns that we're trying to keep separate in our own, backyard. Yeah, so that's pretty boilerplate stuff.
Yeah. Cost tracks the service level you want. If you want us to deal with it entirely, obviously there's a cost involved with that.
How old is your fleet, you know?
For the
Almost
For the
5
car
years.
deals?
close to 5 now, yeah.
5. So you're in a good spot
Yeah,
right
you're
now.
good.
They all come with 10-year warranties, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if you're actively running that warranty program. A lot don't. But it's 1 for 1 most of the time. If you lose one, which is actually the card itself, then you get a brand new one in its place until 10 years is up. So, you're in a good place. The ones that we cringe a little bit is when they've had the cards for 20 years.
Yeah.
And, we know that within a few years, all of a sudden your repair bill is going to start going up, right? As they age out, just like the baby boomers, right? The cart's going to get to that point and you're going to have a heavier year for maintenance. So, but 5 years is a really good place to be.
I'm aging out.
Bert, do you have a sense on how often we have to repair carts? Once a month, a couple times a week?
I reached out to Danny, Greg reached out to Danny for me in regards to that. And on average right now it's 3 to 4 a week. There's been a high of 10 in a week and there's been a low of 0 in a week. So that 4 sounds about average.
Did they say whether they're
Thank
mostly
you.
lids or wheels or are they actually replacement of full bodies?
I think it's just parts, not full bodies.
It's mostly the wheels and the.
Yeah, we very rarely see bodies that much. The ones that fall in the truck are the biggest ones, especially when you get this kind of weather.
Although we had one in the beginning, didn't we, get blown apart on Main Street?
They've
The
been.
truck just annihilated the whole thing.
We had a complaint the other day. One of our totes had been on the road, right? We emptied it, we put it back like we're supposed to do, we drove away. Someone called in to complain that as they were driving down the road, the wind blew in the cart into their car, and they would like us to repair the side of their car. I don't know if I can help you there.
What's that, a natural, what do you
Feels like an
call
act of
that?
God of anything.
Act of God,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what it's called.
Windy God, I guess.
Good.
All right, we're good. Unless there's something else you wanted to bring up or anything.
No, thank you very much for hosting.
Thank you. Just so everyone knows, we'll probably be making our decision within the next few weeks.
Okay.
All right. And if we have questions, I'm sure you're good if we send them out to everybody, right?
Absolutely, and we can present those. I'll send Greg the
Bulky waste per.
bulky data
per
and
unit.
that video of the mattresses, so you can see.
That'd be
All
great.
right, perfect.
Surprisingly interesting. Seems
All right.
boring.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much for coming.
When do you want to make this decision? Next week? 2
I'd
weeks?
probably say, yeah. Is there a way to give this our next meeting?
2 weeks?
2 weeks. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Next week's a holiday.
Yes.
Then we get the holiday, and I think that's probably a good time for us. Once we're here, it gives us time to digest tonight, go back through the material we have. If there's any additional questions, let's forward them to Greg, and you can forward them off, right?
And the 90 days that they had given is somewhere approximately February 3rd. So by the 26th, this still gives us time,
Okay.
depending on which direction, to not incur the additional costs if we go in that route.
So we'll need that week, we need to come up with what we want for bulk, how we want to address that, right?
Right, I mean,
I think that's one of our biggest questions.
yeah,
right?
we can too. I mean, we can even address it a little bit now if we want. I know as far as bulk goes, I don't see the need for every week.
No.
No. I think we either go down to biweekly or even the monthly is not bad.
Yeah, so I think, what we really got to figure out how we want it is for the bulk. Do we want to put it in the residents' hands where they get a pickup, they pay for it? Do we want the town to still do one bulk item, say, once a month? And anything additional, maybe the resident pays for? The transfer station, they basically haul it all themselves?
Yeah.
Or you could still do on the side. So a lot of the bulk, I think, is what we have to figure. But I think,
Yeah.
I'd like to see what Casella has for if the resident was to pay for the bulk item.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, we got that. So if we could see that,
and they're
that
going to
gives
give us
us,
the information,
that.
right? And I think
Yeah.
that is definitely one of the bigger points, right? Because I think they're both very capable of picking up the rubbish, picking up the recycling.
well, they make a good point. There's probably other towns going around that, oh, you live in Plastow, you throw this out in your trash for me?
Well, I'm sure everybody does.
Guarantee it happens.
So it might make
Guarantee.
sense to,
And that
that
is
program with
one
the
way to
resident pays
probably
for the bulk
knock
item,
it down. That way you're just keeping the bulk item in town.
Sure, one neighbor put a section of the couch in the other neighbor's yard to have it.
Oh,
picked up.
sure, you've seen that, right?
Happens.
So, a couple things to think of, but let's try to go back through the packets, take in what we saw tonight. Any additional questions? Let's get them to Greg. Let's get the answers back for us all to see. And let's be ready to really make a decision. Luckily, this is a lot better than the last time we did it, Jay.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, we have budgets and warrant review. First, I'd like to thank Jay for putting these together. It was definitely a big help. I know I've had a chance to look at them.
So, do you want me to
Yeah, if you just
go
want to
through
take
it?
us through a little bit.
So I put together, this is the voter's guide. And the voter's guide usually has a little more information in it than the regular warrant because we're restricted as to the intent we can put out there. So for the voter's guide, what I did was I went through and a suggestion was made at the budget committee that we put the tax impact for each warrant. And based on that, Greg put together a rate based on our total assessment. And so I put in here under just below the explanation for each warrant article that had a dollar amount associated to it, I put a tax impact. And basically what it is here is based on the schedule. So I'll just, for example, take the first warrant article related to let's see, the highway. So in this one, we're asking the residents or the taxpayers to fund $100,000 into the Department Equipment Expendable Trust Fund. Based on our overall assessment of the town, which is $1.9 million, on a $100,000 warrant article, it's 5 cents per thousand. So what I did in there was under the tax impact, and I think it's on page 4.
Starts on 4 and goes to
Yeah.
5.
And it ends on 5 at
It's
the
on
top.
4. It's the one right above that. Oh yeah, it's on 5, sorry. So I used a house, I don't know what the average assessment is. We can probably plug that in, but like I put $450,000, the average assessed home. Some might be higher, some might be lower, but it just gives you a starting point. So at 5 cents per $1,000 on a $100,000 impact, it's $22.50 per year on your tax bill. So that's what this number represents. So for each warrant, I broke that out into the individual cost per resident on their tax bill per year.
That's awesome.
So
So I guess the question we would have from talking to Jay, I mean, I think you definitely have to have it in there, what the rate is per 1,000. The question would be, do we want to keep in the home assessed at 450,000 would be this per year? Do we want to find what the median house price is in town and use that as a price there, or is that too confusing?
I think the 450 gives you a jump point. You know where you are and what your house is valued at.
Yeah, I just want to make sure we're all in agreement.
I think the round number is better. If we start going with a median and then it's 37765, you know what I mean? Now we're getting
Yeah, it all depends, well, the median, I wouldn't say like, 397, it would have to be 400, 450, 350, whatever.
Yeah, $50,000 increment.
But I guess that would be the question, is that the dollar amount we want to use, the 450? Or would you prefer a different one? Should we find out, just out of curiosity, what that is and we can round it? You could be in the ballpark. I bet you're pretty close.
yeah,
I would think he's pretty
I think
close.
it's pretty close.
Yeah, find out. And I think we're probably pretty close.
I think it is. I think it's pretty close.
I think it's 375 to 450, somewhere in that range, probably.
So you're right there. So you took the higher end, which is,
I'd stick with the 450. It's easy. It's easy to extrapolate
yep.
up and down from that.
Yep. Yeah, because and it's fresh, I think, in everyone's mind what their house was assessed at. Just on its.
Yes, it is.
It's fresh, so obviously if you're above that, it'll be a little more or less, right?
Right.
Oh, this was a great job, Jay.
So
I think this
also,
is something, we probably should have done years ago.
yeah, and also the explanation, these are explanations that we've used over the years. I just, in some cases, copied and pasted them. The only ones that I wrote an explanation for were on the last couple.
Yeah, they were new.
Which one? I added one for the cemetery and the police officer and the mowing and upkeep. And then on the last one, Municipal Transportation Improvement Fund, I put an explanation there. And I'm hoping we can read that and, kind of hash that out. And then I put the tax impact. I don't know if that's the right term for it, but it's $5 per vehicle per year for
Each car.
each vehicle.
So each vehicle is an additional $5.
Yeah, basically. So I don't know if you want me to reword it or, I don't want to make it as simple as possible.
Yeah. No, I think this is good, Jay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I think it's really good. The only thing and I'm not saying we change it, but where you said the tax impact of the $5 per vehicle, maybe we call it a resident fee impact, where it's not associated to
A
your
vehicle registration.
Right,
Just the way
I'm
to
fine if
word
we
it.
call it the tax impact.
I can change it to like registration fee impact.
Because
something-
it's not just for
It's
residents,
not part of your
right?
tax bill. and
Because
other people don't.
commercial vehicles also have to pay that as well. It's not just residents, it's
Okay.
commercial as well.
Yep, so registration fee impact.
Yeah, I'll update it.
That's the only thing, just so there's no confusion that, this is going to be on my taxes, and then I'm paying it for them at town hall, and just avoid that.
And
But I think this is really
Greg,
good.
for
And
that one there, are we looking at, would that include
Yeah.
trailers, boats
did
and
a
all
great
that,
job.
right? So it's anything that's registered?
I don't believe it's boats.
Okay.
No.
I just want to make sure.
No, it's
per motor vehicle
It's
registration.
motor vehicle
So it's not
registration.
trailers?
I'm not 100% sure on trailers. I'd have to look at the RSA.
Okay. Yeah, when you get a chance, just take a look at it and let us know. No, I think that's very good, and
I like it.
it definitely helps everyone.
Yep.
So I did update with this with all the updated, also like the fund balances and the votes that we had. I think we already had all the votes, but, and then the fund balances are as of December 31st. So thank you, Greg, for getting all that information.
Do we need to vote on the operating budget again, because it doesn't have recommended by the board?
Did we vote on it?
No, we did last week.
Voted last week.
I thought we did, but,
Yeah.
all right.
Well, this is all pre-deliberative too, so all these numbers
Yeah,
are going
all
to
it's
change.
gonna change.
I mean, they could change, they may not change. And typically, after deliberative, we end up voting
Voting
again
on it
that day.
again.
That day, we'll end up having a quick meeting to revote, see if anybody, after what came up at deliberative, whether the vote stays the same, change, or whatever.
And I believe the budget committee voted operating budget as well at a 530. So I don't know if you want to update your copy, but it wasn't in there, so missed that one. I guess what I would say is, maybe some of these, we just want to read them, and I just want to make sure I captured the, I think the ones that I had questions on specifically were around the collective bargaining agreement. And I said in here, the explanation, positions in the town hall unit include assessing clerk, health officer, recreation director, building inspector, code enforcement officer, welfare director, deputy tax collector, assistant town clerk, highway foreman, highway laborer, maintenance supervisor, and maintenance worker custodian. Does that capture all of the?
Maintenance supervisor is no longer in there, but that does, other than that, you should be fine.
Okay, so we can take that out. I'll update that. Also, with like the contingency fund, I just put the tax impact for it. There is no tax impact for the year 2026. The funds are transferred from the unassigned fund balance to this account as mentioned in the explanation. So,
Right, and if there's money left over, it goes back into that fund.
right. And it says it in the explanation. So, so I went down to the P2610 explanation, and here I took what we had in there from previous years and I changed it a little bit, but I just said per state law, the town is required to complete a full property reevaluation, a minimum of every 5 years. Plastow is due for reevaluation in 2031. This fund will help level the expense for the 2031 reevaluation. The funds will be invested in an interest-bearing account, and funds can only be withdrawn by the majority vote of the Board of Selectmen.
Are we doing 2031 or 2030? Just because we did it in 25?
5, so it's
Every 5.
So it's 2030.
30.
Okay. All right, I'll update that. Yeah, so then it's the last couple. This one's for the cemetery maintenance account. I just said there's approximately $29,000 in the cemetery special maintenance expendable trust fund, all of which are expected to be used with the additional, with these additional funds to finalize the cemetery expansion. Along with the additional. You guys okay with that one?
Yep, good with that. Yeah, because that maintenance, could be fencing or whatever. We got a few things to do over there.
And then the police officer, I don't know how much we want to add to this, or it's a starting point. The intent is to hire one full-time police officer that will be used at various times for traffic enforcement only. The cost here covers 6 months of salary and roll-up costs.
No, I think that's good.
Should we add something that would be added to the budget going forward? Because it wouldn't be a yearly warrant article at that point,
Correct, so yes.
right? So. I'll just say in future budgets, this position would be part of the operating budget.
Yep.
I would take out used at various and just replace that with responsible
Okay. Future budget.
for traffic enforcement only.
So this will be responsible for traffic enforcement only.
All right, one full-time police officer that will be
Responsible for traffic enforcement only.
responsible. Okay. All right,
Thank you for doing that, Jay.
I'll make the updates there. You good with that one?
Yes?
Yep. Next one is the mowing and upkeep of the islands. The intent.
Right. I was just
Not
gonna say
there.
that.
The intent is to utilize these funds for the purpose of maintaining the center median of Route 125 from East Road to Old County Road. This will cover the cost of monthly mowing and weed whacking of the medians at an overtime rate and include police details. Does that cover what the intent of this is?
I would say not really, not an overtime rate,
Okay.
because our staff is busy enough as it is. This would be looking at hiring an outside contractor to
This
be
would be-
responsible for it.
Okay, sorry, I missed
Oh,
that piece.
Would we need a police detail for that if it's out on 125?
You probably do for safety.
Yeah.
Yeah, because wasn't that one of the reasons we get an outside contractor was they had the equipment and the things needed to
Well,
abide by
at one time,
DOT?
at one time we had control, and when the highway had to do it, it got a little hairy out there at times, right?
Right.
It always,
You know, so you always had to have a truck there and everything so they could weed whack it. And then that's when we made a decision, let's give it back over to the state.
Yep.
So the state's responsible for it.
All right, so I'll change that from weed whacking of the medians by an outside contractor, and will include a police detail.
yes, that's better.
So if we're including a police detail, that tax impact may not be totally correct then, right? Because that figure, does that include what a police detail would cost? out there?
We
It does? Okay.
would charge it there, yes.
Okay.
All right, I'll make that change. And then the last one, I didn't read the explanation. The intent is to collect an additional fee to be placed in the Transportation Improvement Fund. These funds can be used to install EV charging stations at or maintain sidewalks, drainage, curbing, and equipment of section, and equipment. No, I messed up there. It should just end at and equipment.
Yeah.
Fees will be collected from residential and commercial registrations.
So the specifically talks the fee, the additional fee shall be collected from all vehicles, both passenger and commercial, with the exception of all-terrain vehicles, and antique motor vehicles, farm tractors, or motorcycles. So I would say a trailer, it wouldn't be considered a vehicle. So it's
So it has to have a motor on the road.
motorized vehicles and on the road.
So you said what antique wasn't?
No antique.
No antique.
antique motor vehicles, farm tractors, or motorcycles as defined in RSA 259:4.
All right, is
If
it,
you want to add that part,
I can add that.
except,
Yeah, I just saved $20.
Are there any other items these funds can be used for? Other than what I put in there?
Well, improvements in the local or regional transportation system, including roads, bridges, bicycle and pedestrian facilities, parking and intermodal facilities, electric vehicle charging stations, and public transportation. They may also be used for engineering, right-of-way acquisition, and construction costs of transportation facilities, including electric vehicle charging stations, and for operating and capital costs of public transportation only.
grab the RSA.
Can you
and
copy
pull it.
that and just email that to me, please? And I'll plug that in here. Thank you.
You couldn't remember all that?
No,
I thought you were writing really quick there.
I was, just not quick enough.
He's not as young as he once was.
Hand cramped up.
He ran out of ink.
Yeah, if you could just copy and paste that to me, that would be great. And then I'll make all these updates and send it out.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great job, Jay. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay.
Much
Do we
appreciated.
need to vote on this to make it official, or is it just a
Consensus?
by consensus?
I think my opinion, I think probably just by consensus, because this isn't the final.
Right.
Right.
We'll end up using this as the pre, and then after deliberative, it'll probably get changed again, right?
Yeah, we'll have to update it if there are any changes at deliberative. So, okay.
Yeah, we're all good with that though, right?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
That's what I figured.
Thank you.
All right, next up, communication equipment repair and replacement. Greg, this is for the tower over on Lover's Lane?
That is correct. So I had been having discussions with the dispatch supervisor and also the police chief. And in doing so, things over there are more dire, I guess, than I had originally thought. And so over the past few months, we have a communication tower along with corresponding equipment that helps out with our dispatching system. It is over off of 108 on Lover's Lane. We have the equipment that is used to communicate with our officers and emergency personnel on that side of Sweet Hill, up and down 108 and the like. And due to various reasons, old age of equipment, corrosion and the like, there has been significant issues with the equipment there in that the tower has gone down and offline on a regular basis over the last few months. So the police department, communication supervisor, they have been working with an outside vendor to get quotes to basically replace and fix the problems that have been noted. Currently, we are on borrowed equipment from one of the vendors, and that is only going to last so long with upgrades and the like. So with it is a proposal in the neighborhood of $120,000 to bring the equipment and fix the issues over in that building to bring it up to a better working condition, better reliable system and the like. So there is a capital reserve fund that we have established, for this purpose. There is $126,000 in said fund. I'm also working with the the fire chief on identifying a formula, if you will, to be able to have ALS pay for a portion of this upgrade as well. So what I'm really asking is a vote to go up to 120,000, but we're not likely to be using all of that from the trust fund because the ALS will assist in paying a portion since they are now on our system. They are responsible. They're receiving a benefit for it as well. So
So a couple of questions. Do we know how much ALS will give us, or that's undetermined at this time?
it's undetermined at this time. I'm working on closing out the books and records for the year to determine what is left of the money.
Okay, and then now, because I'm just kind of reading this, it says we're responsible for disposing of any old equipment. Will that be built into what we need to take away from the fund?
I believe the 100 and
So it's $116,508.48, and then the note underneath that, it states Plastow was responsible for disposing of any old equipment,
RF equipment.
RF equipment that will not be reused. So they will get rid of the tower for us?
It's not the tower.
It's not the tower, it's the stuff.
It's all the equipment, some of the equipment that's on the tower, but a lot of it is the equipment that's inside the building to
I guess I need to go look at it.
be the relay, if you will, and be able to allow that communication.
If that lands on us, that's actually a resellable item
Okay,
to a scrapyard.
all right.
That can be handled locally and go back into our coffers.
And I think we have up at the landfill, don't we have a dumpster where we collect metal?
We do.
So we could just have it put in there.
And and then the line above the grant, it talks about removal of existing as well. So I'm just thinking that could be just some very specific items.
All right. For any of the.
I don't think it would be significant, in other words.
All right.
Do we know what the turnaround time is to when they could start working on this and when it?
I
might
was
be due?
told it's going to take weeks, if not months, to order the for the equipment once ordered to come in. So
Not a shock these days.
Okay.
it's a long lead time.
So my other question is, when I quickly looked at the email chain that we got, this was received in November, and the quote is good until the 19th of January. I wish we had gotten this earlier so we could have had the conversation, so that we could have given them the extra lead time and not needing to make that decision like, okay, it's good until next Monday, which is a holiday. That's my frustration. I'm just
And-
putting it out there.
I understand, and I was not aware that they were working on to the detail of this that
Okay. Yeah, I'm
far
just
back.
getting it right out there,
Mhm.
getting it off my chest.
I know it has been an issue because it has been brought up before.
Oh,
but I agree-
absolutely.
But I agree with
Mhm.
the time.
We need to get people to send you information a lot faster than we're in the 11th hour and it's a push, and we need to make a decision now.
You
I'm
don't want to
sorry.
make the decision now, they can requote it.
This is true, but
That's-
I'm just voicing my
Never record.
frustration. Is that a dead mouse in there?
Yep, probably.
Probably.
Yeah, if you looked at all the pictures that were there.
Bottom right, yeah.
You saw all the pictures. I don't know if you had a chance to look
Yeah,
through
It's a dead frozen mouse.
them. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So anybody have any additional questions? I know obviously that's an important part to have there because without it, that's kind of
This is,
far reaches.
To me, this is really important. It's for the safety of our
It's a safe-
emergency.
It's a safety issue, right?
It's a
It
huge
really is.
safety issue.
And the good news is we already have money put away.
Put away for it, which is a good thing.
That's what it's there for.
Yeah.
So if you
And-
guys are on board, I'll make a motion to approve the transfer of up to $120,000 from the Public Safety Communications Capital Reserve Funds towards the equipment replacement project for the tower on Lovers Lane.
I'll second that.
Second by Liz.
Saving me.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
So it's 500. And do we have non-public minutes to approve? There you go, Jay.
Sir.
Anyone wants to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the non-public minutes for January 5th, 2026. There's only one session, right? Yeah.
Yep.
And to keep them sealed.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
500.
Thank you.
And let's see. Next up, we need to approve the consent agenda. Consent agenda consists of accounts payable manifest for January 12th, 2026. And actually, we had a few more items on there, didn't we? That we had approved
You have the
in the folder, because we had,
Right, a military exemption.
right, there was a military exemption.
Yep.
the accounts payable, the draft, military, and default budget.
Yep, so yeah, we did the default budget was in the manifest, the military exemption, US draft minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda for Monday, January 12th, 2026.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So it's 500. Next up, town managers report. Spotlight's on you, Greg.
I know. Let's see. Things worked on basically is finalizing the default budget, working, in the DRA portal to get the document for signature. I've been working on a grant extension for the Wilder Drive. It's according to Underwood, we're not going to finish the project within the original time frame. So working to get that before Governor Council for an extension through the end of the year. Audit-wise, I've received and been working on the legal response letter, the MD&A, and I'm told I should have a draft audit report this week, hopefully tomorrow. Finalized with Sanborn the submission on the PFOAs and PFAS. Also finished up the request number 2 for Wilder Drive for another $600,000 coming in off the grant. Have meetings and working with Normando Associates on the landfill monitoring. Had a lengthy discussion with the IT vendor today about VMware. We do utilize VMware, and as Mr. Coy knows, the costs when they were bought out by Broadcom,
Broadcom, yep.
is through the roof, so we're
Almost went up 10x. Licensing fees.
Wow.
So we're working on other options for the town servers. We have, I believe, we through April right now with VMware. So that is, a priority. And then year-end close, town report, working on things of that nature. So.
Perfect, thank you. All right, Selectmen's reports. John?
I attended the Old Home Day meeting. We're going to be celebrating the 250th anniversary of our great country this year, incorporate that. We also have arranged a fundraiser that will offset some of the cost of the fireworks. It will be a dance held at the Fish and Game, as well as hopefully some others. It's the fireworks have gone up, just overall cost in all has gone up, and trying to keep a level budget with the town. We're going to try to do as much fundraising as we can.
Yeah, that'll be the fishing game. That'll be in April.
Right. So we'll get that out, and
there'll be a band there as well.
Yeah, as well as this year we'd like to see a lot of participants from town. All you guys that own small landscaping companies, tree work companies, get your vehicles together, get in, sign up, and get some free advertisement for the parade.
Even organizations too, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, usually baseball's in there.
Yep.
But any of those type of organizations, let's make it a big event, right? Let's make the parade.
Yeah, let's have some kids doing karate. Let's have some fun stuff out there. Yeah. So that's for Old Home Day. I did also attend Conservation Committee, and we went over the water testing and how to do diligence on maybe maintaining some of the costs on that on an annual basis and so forth. Other than that, there wasn't really much at the Conservation Committee meeting.
Okay.
I did miss energy, though.
All right. I think it got canceled, didn't it?
It did.
Thank you. Kyle?
Ski club did start last Friday. All reviews that I heard from parents and Chelsea from the rec commission who's running it was great. Everyone had a great time, nice and smooth. They picked the kids up at Pollard, went over for the day, really well. So good to hear that went well.
Great to see that back up and running again.
Finally. Budget committee meeting tomorrow night. That is our public hearing, I believe. Rec commission this Wednesday. That's at 6:30 at the Norman Major Building. And that's it.
Okay, thank you, Tyler. Liz?
Energy Committee was canceled, and attended the Planning Board meeting. And I'm sure you'll chat about that.
Yeah, not a whole lot happened in that. Jay?
We had budget committee last week. Last week. They voted on all the warrant articles that had dollar amounts. So that meeting went fine. We have a budget meeting tomorrow night. This is actually the public hearing for the public that starts at 6:30. So the budget committee will hold the public hearing tomorrow night on the budget and the warrants. So if you want to attend and have any input on the budget and the warrant articles, please attend tomorrow night's meeting here at Town Hall at 6:30. The public hearing will be opened at a certain point during that meeting, usually in the beginning. So after some, paperwork is done, and then they'll open the public hearing for public comment. So that's it.
All right, thank you, Jay. And what I had, Old Home Day meeting. The Planning Board meeting, it was really just kind of start the year, see what we want to try to accomplish this year. There was nothing real major, and obviously a rec commission meeting this week, so we'll get to meet the new rec director, right?
Yep. We already planned 6 or 8 events through February and
Really?
looking at February vacation stuff, hitting the ground running.
Nice, perfect. And any other business, anything anybody wanted to bring up? Speak now.
All good.
All right. And with that, I guess we will close the meeting at 7:45. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and have a good week, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. Thank you.